What's good, y'all? So I got another video for y'all today, and I'm gonna talk about basically what I think are 10 of the most important things to keep in mind when you're pursuing a DL nigga. You feel me? And number one, I'm gonna start off with its levels to being DL. Right? I've mentioned this before. Um, Not everyone is as confident in their sexuality as the next person. Right? So, for example, me, if you had well, it's taken me like 3, 4 years to get to this point where I'm like, you know, talking to y'all and sharing my opinions, my experiences, and all that. But you know, uh, you go back 4 years, and I'm still pursuing females for the most part. Um, like I hadn't had any meaningful connections with guys, all that kind of stuff. You feel me? It was just physical. So um, it's important to keep in mind that some dudes they may be at that point where they're still in denial about what they feel for who they feel, or they could be at that point where maybe they've admitted to themselves like, all right, I like dudes, but at the same time, like I want to make my family happy. I don't want to be out here, making them like uncomfortable. I don't want all that negative energy over here if I was to tell them my deal and all that kind of stuff. So they could be, pursuing females in their public life and then messing with dudes on the side. Or they could be at the same point that I'm at, right? Where they're comfortable enough to talk to people about it if they ask, and like actively pursue, who they want. You feel me? So it's important to keep in mind. And to follow up with that, when you're expressing interest in another dude, there's no one way that a dude will respond, right? So you need to keep in mind like when and where. Like if you was to text them or call them or do it, yeah, I mean, I don't do it in a public place. Just be smart about that kind of shit. You feel me? Um, yeah. So it like depending on when and where you do it, um, and also who that person is, you may get all kinds of responses. They may come at you with anger. They may just not know how to respond. It's a bunch of different ways that could go. You feel me? And to build on that, number three, time will tell. So say you tell the homie like, hey, I'm feeling you as more than a friend, blah blah blah. At first they could be like, hell no, what's up with all this bullshit? Like, bro, you crazy? I don't play that gay shit, blah blah blah. But you know, a few years, months, weeks later, things can happen in their life where maybe you were right to assume, or not assume, maybe you were right to think that they could have been DL or bi-curious or whatever, and some experiences can happen in their life where it's like they get more comfortable, or they get to that point where it's like, fuck, I don't want to live like this way for the rest of my life. I don't want to be out here uh, keeping a secret, doing shit that's only gonna make me not as happy as I could be. You feel me? There's a lot of things that could happen within whatever amount of time where dudes could change their perspective, their opinion, and they might have the confidence one day to reach back out to you and say like, all right, see where shit might go, right? Let's see. Number four, confidence is attractive. Everybody knows this. This is like one of the most basic things, and it's real difficult I feel like to be confident when you're not sure if the other person is even feeling you or if they feel the same sex. You feel me? Um, but it's important to try and build your confidence. You feel me? Or at least come off as confident. If you're a good actor, play to your strengths. You feel me? Because I've been approached by dudes who were confident enough to approach me, right? But they were so nervous that they would get tongue tied, or it was just like you could sense the anxiety. You feel me? And depending on who it is, it might not always be a turnoff, but for the few, not every encounter, there was for like 2 out of the 3 encounters that I can remember, it was a turnoff. You feel me? Um, but that's also like I wasn't as attracted to those dudes as I was this one other dude. So let me just tell y'all the story. Few years ago, probably like two, 1.5 years ago, maybe. I was at the skate rink. I was at World on Wheels, and um, I'm always, looking to see whose eyes I catch at World on Wheels. You feel me? Or when I go skating in general, because there's plenty of DL niggas out there, right? I'm not sure if I've told y'all this story before, but there's this one light-skinned dude, definitely noticeably a little younger than me. If I had to guess, I'd say he was like 19, maybe 20. A little taller than me, slim build, good looking though, right? Um, and a lot of times, bro, would like wear like a tank, his chain and like a do rag or whatever. So I noticed him before, and he wasn't one that I could necessarily tell. Um, Actually, let me say this. Even though I was looking back then, my sense of who was DL and who wasn't as sharp as it is now. You feel me? So basically, one night, bro comes up to me, and I don't know what the hell he said, because he said it so low, and he was like having trouble making eye contact with me. That I just said I disagreed with whatever the fuck he said, because I didn't hear him. And I looked at him, and he didn't look back. He was like, it was one of those times where you could tell bro was nervous. You feel me? Now looking back at it now, I'm like 90% sure bro was trying to get at me, but at the time I was just like, you alright? Like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like, you good? I didn't say that. I just kept on skating. You feel me? Um, and I actually not ran into bro. I saw him at the beach once, or I saw him at the beach like maybe a few months later. And at this point, after giving it some thought, I was like, oh, bro was probably trying to get at me. And I was with my homies. He was with his friends or whatever. And I tried to catch his gaze, but I couldn't. Bro was like actively avoiding eye contact with me. So I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm more sure that bro was trying to get at me, and also that he probably felt like I rejected him, or I don't know what. But when I saw him at the beach earlier, like later, I knew he had seen me. And then I also knew that he was avoiding eye contact with me when I tried to look back at him. You feel me? So, I mean, I did kind of feel bad about that, but like I just didn't know at the time. You feel me? Let's see. What was it? Right. Number 4. Number 5. Social influences. You got to remember whoever you're trying to pursue or get at. Remember where they come from, their friends, their family, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of this is you have to take the time to get to know this person. So this is one of those where it's like, if you were friends with them first for a while and you know them well enough, like, okay, their parents are their parents homophobic? Are their parents hella Christian? Because, you know, not all parents express homophobia. You're not always gonna catch it. But if they're mad Christian, it's a good chance that they don't fuck with the gay shit. You feel me? Um, and then the same deal with their friends. How woke are they friends? Do they, like, you know, are they homies just like, man, you know, look at that, it's gay. We don't play that gay shit, all that kind of stuff. And at the same time, niggas who do that could also be DL. But just just for the sake of, um, you know, recognizing how comfortable they could be or how woke they are in that regard, it's important to keep in mind who they talk to, what they talk about, what their values are, their ideals, all that kind of stuff, right? Let's see, number 6. Oh, number 6. If it's meant to be, it'll be. Right? I'm a strong believer in that kind of stuff. I'm not Christian anymore. I've told y'all that before, but I am spiritual. So, I mean, when I was a Christian, I believed this too, but I've kept this belief that if something is meant to be, it will be, right? And that's with anything. Like, if you asked me a while back if would be doing this YouTube video, I would have never thought I'd be doing shit like this. I would have never thought a lot of things in my life, right? I would have never thought that this one dude I was talking to a while back that I, you know, fell in love with would come back into my life. And then, you know, I would grow and realize that we're not meant to be together. I would have never thought that. Y'all get the point. I'm not gonna go off on a tangent with that, but just keep in mind, that's for your peace of mind, so that, you know, if you do get rejected, you don't get so hung up on, you know, that one bad experience or that one person. You feel me? Like, you just gotta let things be what they are, move forward. All right? Let's see. Is that number 6? Whatever. Last one should have been number 6. This is number 7. I might have gotten the numbers confused there, but just bear with me. Number 7. It's a learning experience. You feel me? So, like I said, just with that last step, don't be so discouraged. If you get rejected once, you have to, like I said, you have to build your confidence to the point where you can keep getting rejected until you find that one, right? It comes down to, like, how badly do you really want love? How badly do you really want that one, right? Because, I mean, it took me a minute to not necessarily realize what I want, but for a while, I didn't know that I could love someone the way I did until I met that first dude. And I've said that before too. Like, you don't know what you can feel for someone until you feel as strongly as you do for that one, right? But, you know, while you're out here looking and putting yourself out there and growing, you feel me? It's all a learning experience. So you gotta take lessons from wherever you can. Honestly, I would say, try and find the lesson in every experience, especially with this, because, like, you really gotta learn how to see the signs. You gotta learn how to take rejection. You gotta learn how to do a lot of things. Y'all get where I'm coming from. Number 8, astrology. Now, some of y'all might not fuck with astrology like that, But over the past 3-4 years of me like actively pursuing dudes, it's been helpful, or I should say, astrology has been helpful to me, or at least it's been accurate. Like when I would ask someone what their sign is over the past few years, I've gotten like it with me. I would say I take everything with a grain of salt, like, or with some skepticism. You feel me? Um, but I can't deny the accuracy of astrology when it comes to describing, people's personality traits. That shit has been dead on. Like since I've actually gotten into it, um, when I would ask people what their sign is, and then I would go look up, the traits of that sign. Once I have enough time with that person or persons, whatever, I would start to see like, okay, yeah, this is actually pretty dead on for you. Um, that being said, I don't have like that much experience with every sign. Like I don't know too many Virgos or Cancers or anything like that. Like I got a lot of Pisces in my life, and even though they're very different people, like one of my best straight homies is a Pisces. One of my gay friends is a Pisces. Actually, multiple gay friends are Pisces. You feel me? And even though they're different people, they have a lot of similar traits. You feel me? Like if you pay close enough attention, right? So, if you whoever you're going after, if you know their sign, I would say it's worth looking up, you know, like the traits of that sign. You feel me? Um, just to get a better understanding of who that person is. Like it's helped me, right? Um, let's see. Number 9. Take as much time as you need to figure out how to tell whoever you're interested in that you fuck with them like that, right? Because how you say it is gonna make a difference. How many words you use, your vernacular, your slang, all that kind of stuff. It makes a difference. Um, I would say honestly, I don't need to get too specific with that, but one of the things that I've taken from one of my English classes in college, one of my professors is you try and say whatever you have to say in as few words as possible, because when you can break it down and make it concise, there's a lot less room for people to get sidetracked and confused with your words. Like you say like exactly what you want to say, um, and get your tone across, your emotion, all that kind of stuff within the fewest amount of words, right? And yeah, I feel like that's helpful just for people to understand you in general, where you're coming from, all that kind of stuff, right? And lastly, number 10, be prepared. Sorry, be prepared for the worst case scenario, right? So, what that means is exactly what I just said. You just be prepared for that person to blow up. Be prepared for them to call you all kind of shit. Be prepared for an emotional reaction, right? And with that, keep in mind that when people get emotional, like, I feel like emotion is like the enemy of logic. You feel me? Because when people get emotional, a lot of times they say shit that they don't mean, or they say shit in a way that could have been said better if they weren't so angry or sad. I don't know. I feel like when people say, even when people say things like when they're like super happy, they could be too excited about something and say they could exaggerate. You feel me? So yeah, just keep that in mind. And, you know, if you work up the courage to say whatever you got to say to whoever you're going to say it to, right? Just don't take their response too personally, because, you know, what you're saying is a big deal. It's a big deal in our society to, well, I would say it's a big deal depending on who you're talking to, right? Obviously, to someone who's more comfortable with themselves, it's gonna be like, oh, you know, if they not fucking with you, they just gonna tell you like, bro, you know, I don't feel you like that. We cool, whatever. If they're not comfortable with themselves like that, or if they straight, you get the same kind of reaction. You feel me? So, yeah, those are those are the 10 things I feel like it's most important to keep in mind when y'all are out here uh, trying to find you a match. You feel me? Yeah. I'm actually losing my voice a little bit, so yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what y'all think, and drop some more topics again, cause yeah, I don't have as many ideas to keep this shit going. All right, so catch y'all in the next one.